I don't really get where you're coming from, Joe. I take strippers home, not friends of sisters, cousins.
Well, whatever.
I'm
I got
kidding,
my
I'm
ass
kidding.
kicked by a boyfriend one time.
Did
all
you
right?
really?
I did.
Did it make it that much worse?
Oh, God. You want to hear this story?
Dude, I cannot wait to go places with you. We're going to start drinking and go to casinos and Disney and everything.
So there was this girl. She was a bartender. This is, God, go back probably 15, 20 years.
It was 2 weeks ago.
I really, I really liked her. She was super fun, super hot. And I tried for like a year. And I never succeeded, but we were friends and it's cool. She had a boy.
year?
Yeah. Like, whatever. I tried.
Sounds
Persistence
like a
usually
job.
wins out. I
Yeah,
get it.
right.
I get
So it did. But, her boyfriend, I knew him. We weren't friends. I didn't, I didn't hang out with them together. Like, I hung out with her sometimes. And, I didn't, he was all right. But, And we went to this concert one time. And we got back to my friend's house. And I don't even know how it happened. There was a lot of drinking. But we ended up, I guess they said that she asked me to take off her shoe. And I did. And they said it got weird. And then we went upstairs.
You started sucking our toes?
I don't know. I don't know what got weird. But we go up to her bedroom. We find a random bedroom in this big house. And, we're going at it. We're having a great time. And one of her friends walks in like, hey, you guys need to stop. And I'm like, okay. So I'm a nice guy. I'm like, okay, I get it. It's your house.
At that point, I ain't.
Well, I did. But then she pulled me back. So I went back
The
going.
same girl you've been wanting to be with for a year.
Right.
Yeah.
You had your chance, took off her shoe, you sucked her toe, and ended up in a bed with her.
That's all right. She pulled me back
Right.
in. So
You
I
already
didn't
at the
leave.
finish line.
Yeah.
You're in the
Cross
finish
it.
line.
Right.
The finish line was a little farther away.
Oh, shit, me.
I would have been like, get out or join. That's
Right.
your only
That's
two
what I was
options.
about to say. For real.
Yeah.
My only
Come on, you
question
got
is,
me on that
why
one,
was
right?
the door
Hey,
locked?
that right there. That's what Joe, you should have looked there and said, get out or join. You got
No,
two choices.
That's when you should have took your pants off then.
Yeah, threw him out the
My
window.
pants were off at this point. I was in it. But
win it.
and then she leaves, pulls me back on, and then I don't even know time. I don't know how long it was, but time had passed, and another friend walked in and was like, "You guys really need to stop." And I, at this point, didn't care because I already tried to stop once. She wouldn't let me. I'm like, okay. And then the door, and another amount of time has passed, and the door opens again, and I hear, "You motherfucker!" And I was like, "Oh." Turn my head. Right when I turned my head, crack. Didn't knock me out, but I'd roll off the bed. I'm like, shit, I didn't see that coming. So I just cover up, and he's on top of me, just pounded. And I'm just, my whole time, my bad, man. I'm not even trying to, I'm
At
butt
that
naked.
point, I'm finna go MMA style. I'm finna hit you in your nuts or something.
He-
You already don't hit
I'm
me
not doing
already.
nothing.
I was just like, my bad, man. But ended up, people came up and they got him off me, and I put some clothes on. And, it was like 3, 4 in the morning. Well, fuck. So, this guy still wants to fight me, and I'm just, I just fucked his girlfriend. I have no reason to fight him. I'm not mad at him.
Bro, it's over. It's done.
He hit me. I'm
What's done
okay
is
with
done.
it. I got what I deserved. But, I needed a ride home because she was my ride. Obviously, she's not taking me home. So,
You already took her home.
yeah.
Right, I'm about to say.
So I'm like, all right, I got to call somebody. Well, I had one of my best friends. He was a cop, and I knew he was working. So I called him. I'm like, hey, I told him what happened. I'm like, I need a ride. He's like, cool. So he texts me. He's like, hey, I'm here. So I go outside. He's like, you called the fucking cops on me. I'm like, no, I called for a ride. I'm not calling cops on you. Sorry.
So let me ask, did you get in the car and he drove you home?
Yeah.
Did you have the front
In the
seat
cop car.
Did you have the front seat or the
Right,
back
I
seat?
was about to
Front seat or
ask
back
that,
seat?
Front seat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got in the
front
front seat.
seat?
Yeah, I got in the front seat. Yeah, and then he
And
took
he drove you home.
he took me to his house.
I would have definitely, if I was your friend, I would have picked you up. You had to get in the back seat.
And I totally would have handcuffed you and put on the lights.
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally would have handcuffed you.
I'd put on the sirens.
I'd be like, I'm so sorry he disturbed you guys. I will take him away
Yes,
from you now.
exactly. I'd have the whole thing coming in there. Do you want to press charges? I will press charges against him.
No, I deserved what I got, so I was okay with it.
Why? Why you feel like you deserve?
Well, I mean, it was his
You
girlfriend.
wasn't friends with
No,
him.
like he wasn't my boy.
Right. So how did you deserve that?
You know, I
It was
just.
her fault. All
It's
her
her
fault.
fault.
Right.
All her fault.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Right.
I mean, I guess you're right. It
I'm
kind of
agree
is
with you.
her
It's all her
fault.
fault.
For real.
100%.
I
You
don't
didn't,
owe him
hey,
no
you
loyalty.
didn't cheat. You didn't do anything.
opportunity,
You weren't.
it's her fault.
No, nobody. It's her fault.
Yes.
That shit was all her fault.
Her fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to leave twice.
I did. Well, one time I tried. I didn't try.
I would love the third time you would go, listen, go here and join. Whale.
Man, I never understand why dudes go after the dude or why females go after the dude. I mean, the girl.
You can't, but
Ego.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hit her.
Listen.
I agree.
If I ever caught my girl cheating in my house, that's something different. You're both dead. I'm just being real. I'm losing it. But if I ever caught like outside or whatever, something like that, I'm not going up to the dude. I'm gonna thank him. Thank you.
Can I get you a Red Bull? Appreciate you.
I ain't going that far. I'm just gonna thank you. Thank you for opening my eyes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for exposing. Because at the end of the day, what am I attacking the dude for?
Oh, I mean, I agree to that.
I don't understand. I never understood that. Even when girls go after the girl, why is you going after the girl?
I think it's a reaction.
No, I don't think no.
It's a reaction. It's a human reaction. Yes. If I swung at you,
think it's a
if we were
choice.
downstairs and I swung at you, would you not
It's
block?
a
Would you not
choice.
block me?
It's a choice.
Would you not block me and then decide if you're going to punch me back?
This is the thing, like you just said. You swing at me, it's a choice that I block you or I
You're gonna have
stand
to,
there.
True, but I think the choice in your head when you see that is to go after the person that's not your person.
Yes,
I'm sorry, I'm not.
so.
It's more of a. It's a.
If I punch you
it's
and
a
we
choice.
just met, your natural reaction is going to block it. And by the way, I ain't punching you because I'm not looking to die tonight. But if I swing at you, just saw you on the street, and I go right, swing, your natural reaction is going to be to block it, and then decide. Am I going to punch it back? Am I going to take him to the ground?
Oh, I'm not deciding. I'm done. I'm going
That,
to
again,
punch.
but it's a
I'm
choice.
going to
After that, it's a choice.
Right.
It's a reaction the first time, then it's a choice. Am I going to back up and go, whoa? Or am I going to call the cops? Or am I going to beat him to a pulp? Or am I just going to get him away from me? That's a choice after that. But the blocking wasn't a choice. That's just what you have in your head. Right. So I think when you walk in and see something like that, you ain't got a choice. It's what your natural reaction is.
I think it's the mindset at that when you're choosing. But that's why I just said from versus that to this, when I say if it's in my house, that's when I say, both of you are dead. That's like to me, that's not a choice. That's just a reaction. Or whatever. But on the outs, like if we was on the out and about or whatever, and I saw it or whatever, something like that, I think at that point, I think that's just like your mindset. Because I'm not going to go after the dude. I'm not going to say nothing to the dude. He don't owe me no loyalty. He don't know me. And he probably don't know nothing about me. So at the end of the day, vice versa, when it comes to the female or a chick going after the dude or whatever, I mean, why is you going after the girl? Why are you going after the girl? It's your dude. So at the end of the day, that's why I say it comes down to the mindset or whatever at that point. But in the house or something like that or whatever, I feel like anyone would snap. It's a high volume of chance that anybody would snap at that point.
The disrespect factor of being in the house.
Yeah.
It's your house or whatever. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Maybe it depends on how happy you are in your relationship.
That too.
On your
That
reaction.
It could be that.
Yeah,
Or how delusional you are in your relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because
If I saw, I swear to God, I walk
would
in,
say
I sit there, I'd be like, all right, so am I getting the car? You get in the car. You ain't getting no pension, by the way. I would not go after nobody. I'd be like, this is great. Whether it's not great, but my mindset wouldn't let it be negative. My mindset, it's already done. Now I can only go up from here. Punching him or her, which I would never hit a female, but punching either one of them or going after them wouldn't be my mindset. I would
Hold on. Is this in the house or
either one, house or out.
Oh, house, y'all dead. I'm not.
What's
I'm
it with
not
the house?
even playing.
Is it because it's y'all?
It's your house.
Yeah, it's my
your
house.
house.
That's if you're in my house, and I'm pretty
But
sure
what if you
you're
didn't
in
know?
my. Again, that would make it even interesting and more intense for me to kill you.
If he didn't know?
If I didn't know,
No, if he didn't know. What if you're, again, give a scenario. What if
Oh,
she
he didn't
invited
know.
him
Like,
back?
he didn't know that was
What
your
if you don't
house.
know
Like,
your
he
house?
thought only she lived
She
in
said,
that.
come back to my house and hang out. I'm going to give a
Oh, I
scenario.
get you.
If she said, come back,
yeah.
hang out, and the lights are off, you kiss and Megan, and she did not know he did not know.
in my years of 32 years on this planet,
That belt hanging from the wall is not hers, is what you're saying.
No. I have learned I don't go to females' houses because, again, it might be your house, but then you might have a dude. I don't do that.
That's smart.
So in my head,
They make motels for a reason.
right. Like how you say you play what you say you play a stripper you play a hoe to leave.
Never pay for a stripper. I pay for her to leave.
Right, you don't pay the fucker.
You pay her to leave.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yeah, I don't know. It's just certain things, man. That's why I say it just come down to being like on your like the mindset of everything, man. Like, nah.
Like if it was me, like if I wasn't happy in the relationship it was at, I'd probably walk in and see it and be like, she's fucking your problem now. But like if I was madly in love and like that was my person, I'd probably go after the dude just in like that pure emotional, like just that instant reaction.
Let her get away.
Yeah, like I just need to hit someone.
It's both. I'm hitting both.
No, see, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
It's two things in this planet.
Joe would walk in, take his pants off, be like, I'm joining.
It's two things on this planet that I will be okay sitting in prison for. My kids and some shit like that in my house.
You're missing one. Your mama.
No,
I'll go to prison for my mama.
That falls under the same. The kids and whatever. But I'm just saying, in my house, my domain and everything, yeah, I take that serious. Like, yeah, I take that serious.
I have a John Wick if they kill my dog. I'm gonna tell you that, like, fuck, touch my dog.
What kind of dog you got?
I got 3 of them.
3 of them?
Yeah. Pure blood Basset Hound, a Labrador and a Basset Hound mix, and a Corgi Husky mix.
What are their names?
Dusty is the Corgi Husky, Zoe is the Labrador Basset Hound, and Marty McFly is the
Marty McFly, love it.
What is the pure blood Basset
Do you ever
Hound.
call him Marty or do they have
I
to be
call
Marty
him
McFly?
Butthead. Because what's his name? And like,
in the movie, yeah, Butthead.
Hey, Butthead. Like,
And does he answer to it?
Man,
no, he
y'all
looks
are
at me
crazy.
sometimes like, Butthead, what you doing? She's like, my fiance, Mandy, love her to death. She named him, and it's her favorite trilogy as well as like one of mine. But I go, she's like, you're not going to call him Butthead. I was like, oh, no, that's his nickname now because that's Biff's nickname for Marty McFly in the movie. It has to be. Like, I'm not going to not call him Butthead. She's like, you can't call. I was like, I'm calling him Butthead.
And you know what? He'll start answering to it, though.
He will. At some
I had a
point.
dog, and when we grew up, his name was Danny. They named him Danny when they were in the pound or whatever, Danny, right?
Yeah.
So we used to call him Dick. And he would start answering. I'm like, hey, Dick, come here. Fucking dog, turn around, come right over, get a treat. Give him enough treats. They call me anything you want.
Absolutely. But yeah, I call him Butthead. He looks at me every once in a while, but he is a butthead too because Basset Hounds I didn't know are terrible. Sweetest dogs ever.
But you're not in charge. They're in charge.
Oh, 100%. They're the most stubborn things
If you
ever.
want them to go out, they won't go out just because you want them to go out.
They're the worst.
God.
The worst. The absolute worst. But they're so great at the same time. Like the sweetest thing in the world. But they're the T-Rex. Little midget T-Rex is what he is. Just destroys everything.
So Jeremy, what's your kill person moment? Like where nothing matters, someone's gonna die.
My mom.
Yeah,
Anything
I
happens.
agree.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Anything happens with my mom. Otherwise, I'm okay. I mean, that happens. It happens. I'm just more of a chess player on that one. Like you said, that's your problem.
Yeah.
I'd probably join in, and I'd probably walk in, take my shirt off, be like, guys, I'm here. They'd be like, what the heck? Like, I'm not. But like, I want to have some fun with it. It already happened. There's nothing I can. Punching him isn't going to change anything besides maybe kill somebody on accident or this. And I really don't want to wrestle a naked dude on the ground and be completely frank with you. I'm actually walking in and be like, well, this is interesting. Didn't expect that from you, and I don't know who you are, but one of y'all is buying me a beer after this because I deserve it. Like, I would have some fun with that.
Like you would start filming it and going,
my
hey,
person-
let's do some moves
Hey,
here. Like, what do we got going on
hey,
right
we're
here? Let's
bringing
go.
you porn back right here, guys. You're the stars. I have to have some fun with it. It's just my personality.
Yeah.
And maybe because I haven't been in love in that part and have that wife and kids where it means a little bit more to me, but I don't think I would. Not that I wouldn't care, but I just don't think I would knock some naked dude out.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
mean,
re-
agree not
I'm
fighting
not
a naked
wrestling.
dude.
I'm not
Yeah, who
wrestling
wants to
naked
fight a
dude,
naked
man.
dude?
apparently that guy did.
Well, in Greece and Rome, they wanted to too, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to fight a naked dude. I'm sorry.
Because Asher was naked when he was pounding away
I think
on
it'd be
my
more.
head.
I think it'd be more fun to be like, put your clothes on, meet you outside in 5 minutes. That whole 5 minutes, he's getting dressed. He goes, am I going to win? Am I going to die? He's going to have a gun. He's got 8 people out there with me. Like, I think it'd be more fun to be like, put your clothes on. I'll be outside waiting for you.
That's too much thinking.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
not thinking.
when you're angry like that, your initial thought, at least for me, like if I'm going to hit someone, I think I'm going to knock them out on one punch.
Right.
I think that in that time.
That's
a good thought process.
I'll never forget. I was at my brother's company Christmas party one year, and I don't like mom jokes like that. That and I tell people I know, I'm like, don't fuck with mom jokes with me.
Right.
Like, just don't do it. I'm
You
not.
don't
cool
like
with
the
it.
mom jokes?
Like about my mom. Like you can say mom
No,
jokes.
like
but-
I can say your mom's so fat, this isn't this. You don't like those.
No, I will fucking lose my shit. And we were at this party, and this guy Kyle, and I knew him, like we were friends, and you know he knew the deal, and I had a couple cocktails, but
Disney again.
he made a mom joke, and I looked at him, wham, just hit him, didn't say a word, and I he was going down, he didn't go down. I'm like, oh fuck, I got to swing more.
But it wasn't even about your mom. He just made a mom joke.
No, it was about my mom.
Oh,
I don't
gotcha,
mind mom jokes in general, but it was, directed towards
Your mom this. I got you.
Yeah.
Right. Stuff like that, I gotta be cool with you. Like, I too much don't really care or whatever. Like, I don't care about too much stuff like that, but I gotta be cool. You can't just say something about my mom and just think I ain't gonna say nothing. Like, I gotta be cool with you. Like, we gotta be on a vibe tip.
Yeah.
Like, respect is everything for me. So,
Keep on. You have siblings?
yes.
Are they into boxing? Are they into sports? Are they?
Sports. I have actually 3 that made it to the NFL. So, and yeah.
Nice. Which teams? Which are you gonna
Buffalo, and then went to Miami, and then one went to Tampa.
Are they currently playing?
Only one, Darrington Evans. That's a family, my cousin on the marriage side.
And he plays for who now?
Miami. I think
Dome.
he's Miami.
Okay.
He went from Buffalo to Miami.
Oh, is he down there with Mostert?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
I tried to hit him up. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but I was gonna see, because he's not in the Super Bowl.
No.
I hit him up. I'm like, hey, doing a Super Bowl party at the restaurant. Want to come do a meet and greet? Like, he's a hometown guy.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
got
no, he's from Minnesota.
he
Yeah,
got
for
a
sure.
house. He's
Get
been-
right off Flagler. Yep.
Tank Dell too.
Yeah.
He's from. He went to
He
Mainland.
mainly.
Did
yeah.
he really? Oh, I didn't know Tank did.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. He had a season. His season ended with his forgot what his knee.
Another other one.
Yeah.
Now, what about sponsors? Do you get a lot of sponsors? Do they come in? Is it something that that boxers usually look for? I mean, we all want that sponsor, but is that something? Does the coach go after that? Is there a PR person? Like,
I mean, I would like for somebody to do it other than me or people knowing me to do it or whatever, but it's just been me. Like, I don't think I really push for all of that, and I'm not saying I want that I had chances to do it, but Joe and like several others that have gotten behind me, I am very appreciative of that and everything. So, but when it comes down to that, it's more like I would say like big areas. And this in my area, like this area and everything is like they want to see more than what they're seeing or hearing or what they already see. Like it would take probably like for me to be like on like the level of say like Tank or big names for people to be like, oh, or whatever. So like I said, the ones that has put their trust in me and has gotten behind me, I'm very appreciative because regardless of where I have been and where I'm still going, the help that they have contribute to, it got me to where I have today, where I am today, and where I'm keep going. So I'm very appreciative.
and social media's probably changed that a lot too, right?
It will. It has and it can. But like I said, it just all depends on like I said, it all depends on like the area that I have learned about everything. It depends on the area. And like I said, boxing is like Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, and Miami. Like Volusia is not. It's like it's hard.
Yeah, there's not very many fight gyms. Where you go to the middle of Orlando, you have a lot of little fight camps around Orlando. You have a lot. Miami and Tampa are huge for boxing. They have a
Is
lot
there
of
a need for it on here? You think? I mean, you think of more.
It's one of those things that there's more gyms that have popped up over the years because of the influence of boxing coming back and also MMA coming back. Big, so it's that way. But you don't see as much pure boxing gyms as you see like now. It's just kind of MMA and stuff like that. It's like they offer everything.
Yeah.
The boxing gym is now an MMA gym.
Well, because everything was boxing back then. Then when MMA came out, it's a combination of correct me if I'm wrong, boxing, jiu-jitsu, it's a lot of combinations of that, karate and everything kind of forms into one.
So what I'm saying to you is like, let's say a jiu-jitsu gym, all of a sudden they were only jiu-jitsu and they started that with MMA, but then like, oh, we want to adapt. They'll add boxing to their curriculum, and it'll be a guy who's might have been striking for a few years and everything like that, teaching you boxing, or just did kickboxing, or he's only done Muay Thai and he's teaching you boxing, and it's not exactly the same, like as teaching pure boxing, right? And it's just like it. When I teach kickboxing, I'm teaching my personal style of kickboxing. I'm not teaching a brand of kickboxing that somebody say. I'm not teaching Muay Thai when I do it. You know what I mean? There's some gyms that do that, but they all kind of add little extra additives to their normal curriculum or whatever they're really good at. And whereas our gym is strictly a striking gym, I tell people I'm a striking coach. You know, I coach pure boxing, but I also coach striking for martial arts as well. So like you don't really see a lot of pure boxing gyms by itself anymore. It's always combined into something, you know what I mean? And then like that title stuff, title fitness, you know, like it's like title boxing fitness will have it, and then they'll have
like everything is already like established.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of hard to like establish something where like bigger cities already established, and it's like basically like you're like the black sheep. So it's like when I first started out, like nobody didn't know me. So then I had to like work extra hard. So like when I go to these cities like Tampa or Miami and everything like that, and I'm winning, so now my name is getting put out. So now when they see me, I know this kid now. So now I'm getting welcome in to one person, and then now they see me with this person, and then it just keeps spreading and spreading. Now my name is getting out there. So it's basically like the same thing when it boils down to the sponsorship or whatever. It's the same thing. Like everything is like you have to do more. Like one person might get behind you, but other establishment might have to be like, okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
But you have so many opportunities with social media, meet and greets, things like that I don't think they had back then.
So it's helped it and hurt it, because I get your point there. It's hurt it because you used to be where in boxing, why boxing made so much money was there were so many sponsorships behind it, right? That's what a promoter does. He goes and gets a shit ton of sponsorships, and that's all the money behind the fight. As long as they also get a purse bit. So like, and that's what it is. And then all the money gets dumped in, then they distribute it through all of the different things to all the different pipelines who gets paid, right? Well, that was because all the sponsorships. Now it is okay for a fighter to go out there and market his own brand, right? And start making his own brand on social media and things like that, right? But then when it comes to an event, boxing has not established the streaming services that MMA has established, right? So like there's Combat Night in Florida. It's a pro and an amateur MMA group. They always stream their fights, whether it be free for you that night or whether it be a small fee of $10.99, right? And they're getting sponsorships. They're going to put, ads up. They're going to, fights are called this and that. So they're getting stuff there. They're getting fighters out into the world because people are now watching it. And then those promotions chop up videos and they spread those videos around for social media, like reels and stuff like that for people to see. And they put out there. Boxing doesn't do that. That promoter doesn't give a damn about those, not to be mean, rude when I say this to any promoter, but I'm saying they're not going to take their time to chop up, keep videos for Kenmon and put it out there for their brand, because they're like, no, that show's over. We're moving on to the next one. They don't build it like
not getting nothing out of it.
Like when you ask somebody,
that's very narrow-minded thinking though, because if you can take that, you can grow
on the
a
promoter,
person. On the promoter. I mean, like I do promotions. I don't promote boxers and this, but like I will show an old event or I will show a busy event that I may not ever do again, or an anti-Valentine's Day event. But if I can show 200 people in there for my next event, it looks like, wow, he did this. He did this. He did this. So I think it's also the thinking of what they do.
But it's the hierarchy of old boxing, and that's the dirty business. Like they just
But you can overpower that over boxing.
I get what you're saying, but it's still an old school business. It's like the mafia in a sense, like, right? Like if they did it a certain way, or like unions do work a certain way and you don't get around it. There's paperwork, whatever it is with unions, like so it's the same type of thing. There's a hierarchy. When PBC is here, Top Rank is here, this one is here. If you don't have money to take over all of them, which they're doing, Ali Turk or whatever the name is.
Yeah.
The Turk, Ali Turk Sheikh in Saudi Arabia is trying to buy all these promotions, these big promotions, right? and wants to combine them all because there's so much of this guy's not fighting this guy because he's with a different promotion, things like that, all that kind of stuff in boxing. If you don't have that type of money to take over those guys, you're essentially a small promoter promoting on your regional scene, trying to filter into one of those organizations. So you're not trying to overtake them. You're not trying to show your own brand. You're trying to hope that one of your fighters on your show gets saw by Al Heyman, gets saw by all those guys, and then they get bucked by Eddie Hearn. And then now you're underneath their banner with a couple of your fighters, and you go in.
How that's done, though, is by all the promoters putting it on their page, having sold-out crowds, having that stuff. So I agree with what you're saying.
They're trying to promote ticket sales, not the boxer.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. It has.
They don't care about the boxer.
You don't have ticket sales.
No,
not necessary. As long as you have a name.
Yeah, you need a name.
As long as you have a name and a person as long as you have a name and they're marketable, you will always sell regardless of who you have.
All you need is one name, one main event.
Right.
One
That's
main
all
event.
you need.
And then ticket sales go, right?
That's just like this. Put it like this. Okay.
Then make up a name.
Bring in
a name.
If I put Mayweather on the show, it could be 9 fighters on that show. Just that one person, Mayweather, will equal up to all those 9 guys.
It'll be way more than those 9 guys.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So,
but if you can't have it, make it. Figure out how to get the local guy to get that person in there.
Right.
Because I call them local celebrities. I know a lot of local celebrities.
Right.
They're not superstars. They're not movie stars. They're people that everyone knows, community in the thing.
So listen what you just said. Agree with what you just said or whatever. So just think about it, a rapper or anything else. If you're in his city, 9 and 10, he's going to sell out more than anybody that's there, or that name might be bigger than him.
So find a boxer in every city that you go to.
That's what they do.
They do that. But they do to sell that. But they're also not trying to. They're putting a name that everybody knows, but then they're putting local guys on to sell out tickets for the local shows, right? For the local area that you're doing it. After that, they don't care. They're just promoting the one boxer. They're not promoting the 16 guys underneath it.
Yeah, their job is not to promote boxers per se. They're to promote an event.
It's to promote one boxer.
Yeah. That's why it's always like, if you really understand, like if you really look at it, when the premium and then the main event or whatever, it'll be like 3 fights on TV shown. So those big names and everything or whatever, it might be that one person that make that show that's from that town. So at the end of the day, it's all about the name. Regardless of whatever, the marketable, the brand, the name, it's all about that.
Again, I'm going to argue with you only because I'm in a different field. But to me, I pack out venues. And it ain't the DJ bringing people. No. It ain't the bartender that bringing people. It's that I built a name, but I used it differently. I built a Stoli party. I built a Grey Goose party because everybody knows Grey Goose.
Which is already an established
100%
name.
agree with you with the name. So maybe instead of Bob and Bill fighting, we're going to the Tito's.
But that's what the
WMMA round thing. And I want to go to a Tito's fight. I don't even know who's fighting.
Yes.
But I want to go to a Tito's fight.
And that's what the UFC did. Now boxing is starting to do that because the UFC said, we're going to take names, we're going to create names, and then we're going to build cards where you say, oh, it's UFC Fight Night 37.
And that's what it is.
And that's what it is. And then
because most people don't know who's on it. You know the top 5 MMA fighters, the top 10 boxers, and that's it. If Mayweather isn't fighting or something, it's like, I don't know anybody.
But you know you're going to a UFC show.
I know I'm going to a Tito's UFC, and I know that they're going to have some Playboy model there that I want to see. So if I can't get a professional boxer out of town, I'm going to find a Playboy model that I can bring in there who's got a name. So I'm going to have the Tito's fight with no name, and the one local guy that people know, and I'll bring 300 people. Then I'm going to bring in a Jenny McCarthy or somebody with a lower end, because if I bring a Jenny McCarthy, 20 grand, I bring her in. I bring a Jenny McCarthy as the host of it, I'll pack out a place, don't matter who's fighting.
No, I get what you're saying, but then you're still only building your personal brand, no boxer.
But that's where I would put the purse up for the boxer, but I would also have an agreement.
But that would that's
right.
If you win, I want a certain amount of YouTube videos. I want a certain amount of this. How many followers do you have? I'm going to grow him because the bigger he gets, the better it is for my team.
But they're not doing. Is what I'm saying is I have no problem with what you're saying. If they did that, that'd be one thing. They're not doing it though.
John,
but they need to do it. That's what I'm saying.
Basically, what he's speaking upon is how BKFC.
No, yeah. Just like how Combat Night. There's one in Florida called Combat Night and Island Fights. They do that. They do exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
they take
what you're doing.
They're doing it. But that again, it's an MMA thing. Boxing is stuck in its old ways. They are just now getting over the fact that a boxer can lose a fight and still be a bad mofo.
Right.
They're just now getting over
Right.
that.
You thought you lose, you're done, you're finished.
Oh, it's
now you can lose.
It's still
it's still there. The O
It
means everything to these
Right.
people, and I'm going. It shouldn't
just
matter.
stop.
But because they
going
made it
down.
a win or lose thing.
Yeah.
I make it a Stoli party with Jenny McCarthy, and no offense, I give a shit less who wins. Because I got Jenny McCarthy there, I got Stoli back in it. So you're gonna get, man, I went to this Stoli party, I saw Jenny McCarthy, and I think this guy named Mark won. It was a pretty cool guy. So to me, as a promoter, as I'm trying to grow a brand, I could care less if Mark, Tom, Dick, Harry, or Peter win.
Please don't ever promote boxing.
Why?
It's not. It's just you.
But let me ask you this:
promote MMA. You'll be
let me
great.
ask you this:
You
how
would.
many
You would
fighters?
great.
You don't think boxing would work this way?
No.
I'm totally gonna do a boxing workout.
It's gonna be hard for you to.
Keep on, you in with me? We're gonna do it.
Yeah,
we're
man,
gonna do
look,
it.
as long as we got in the contract that I
Joe
get
will be at
percent, I'm
Disney,
good.
and your coach is not allowed in this fight because we're gonna pack this bitch.
Because now I was going to ask you, like, how many people, like, since you saying that, how many fighters will you be willing to do that?
Whatever, 9 fights. I want to make it a production. I want to make it. I mean, what's normal? Like 4 fights, 5 fights, 6. I mean,
No.
three are
About
big.
nine.
9 fights.
Yeah.
right. So I'm gonna take all 9 of those people, which is actually 18.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna make sure they promote it. I'm gonna do special flyers for them. I'm gonna get them social media. I'm gonna go, oh man, you got 1,000 followers. That's great. He got 10,000. He must be doing. I'm gonna make sure all of you guys are promoting to your fan base. Then I'm gonna get Jenny McCarthy's name on there, and I keep using her as an example. Then I'm gonna get Tito's to sponsor it. I'm gonna build a party no matter what. And no offense, I do that on a daily basis because our budgets in Daytona are for nothing. I bring a $250 DJ for New Year's Eve, and I pack a place. And trust me, I hope none of my DJs are listening, but ain't nobody coming for that DJ. 7 people came for that DJ. The other 400 and 500 people that are up there came because I made it a Stoli party. Yeah. I gave them open bar for the first hour, and I made them pay $75 in order to do it, and I made my VIPs feel special.
Yeah, but you're thinking like a bar, not a sports competition.
It's
not
the same
It's
thing.
not.
It's the same thing.
It's similar,
It's
but
the same thing.
It's a big
It's a
difference,
product,
though.
and how do I get people there?
Yeah.
And if I have a no name like a DJ,
But you
Yeah,
were
no,
talking
you're
about
right.
promoting boxers.
I will. I'll take these 9. I could make a DJ big. I could make a DJ big. I can make. I know I'm sounding a little arrogant. I can make anybody big because you take big names and other smaller names like Jenny McCarthy and Tito's, and I put these 18 fighters that people really don't know. They got a few followers.
Well, that's what they do now. They put a big, you got your main event that brings people in.
Okay, so
but again, Tito's and Jenny McCarthy are bringing people.
The next thing
I
that
wouldn't
you're
go.
And I'm gonna make them like.
the next thing you're doing it because you're building a brand like MMA, which is nice because what you're not coming across is boxers. There's more MMA fighters than boxers nowadays, right? Because like they can do ground. If they don't like to get punched in the face, they can roll. They can do grappling and jiu-jitsu and all that kind of stuff. Boxers are a different breed in the sense of the ones that know their, how do I want to say that, know they're like the top prospects.
Know their worth.
No, they automatically right away. They're waiting for a top guy to sign them, right? They're not going to take your little $2,000. No. What I'm saying is, but then you're going to get boxers and you're going to get guys and you're going to hope, hey, go sell tickets. Okay, cool. They're not going to do shit. And then they're going to expect you to give them the same amount of money and everything and all of it, even if they didn't sell the shit that they said that they agreed upon.
Yeah, professional wrestlers.
I think it's how you, I'm going to agree with you, but I think it's how you change their thinking. I have a $250 DJ that DJed me for New Year's, but I have to change his thinking.
Yes.
I'm going to put you in front of a big crowd. We're going to do this together, but you've got to put this on your social media. I'm going to design a flyer just for you. I'm agreeing with what you're saying, and I don't know the boxing world when it comes to promotions, only what I see and what I educated myself today, but I think I don't think enough of the promoters or the big boxing world thinks outside the box. And I think MMA said, we want to be different. We have to be different.
And they were.
We got a bunch of guys punching each other. This doesn't make any sense. It's like cage fighting. We're in a cage. They look like dogs. Like, how do we do this? And I think they figured out what works. And like you said, boxing is, there's a 70-year-old guy still sitting there that runs boxing.
Yes.
Mr. Boxing is 70 years old.
Yes.
And he needs to adapt.
Well, he's really 92.
Yeah,
92.
He's whatever. He's
you understand
a
what I'm saying?
mummy. What are you talking about?
19
Bob Arum is there.
1973 is gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen when he needs to change his ways and to grow the brand. And I think that's why I personally think the brand died a little bit. Is it coming back? Yes, but I think they brought Jake Paul in to help bring it back.
They didn't bring him in. He took over.
Yeah,
on his own. He did that on his own.
You think he did it on his own?
He did it on
You
his
don't
own
think it
because
was any coach to do that? He could
No,
pick
no, no,
MMA,
no.
any sport.
because he did it
Nah,
because boxing.
it's boxing.
He liked boxing, and it was the easiest thing for him to bring people in.
Yeah.
Because why?
Because he had all the money already.
And because why? It was a dying
He
sport.
had no.
Oh, no, he had
no.
YouTube.
He had
Had
not
YouTube.
even that. He just had people that didn't watch boxing come over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he found a sport that was
It's much easier to teach two YouTubers to box each other
Right.
than it is to do MMA.
'Cause you gotta think,
you would
a
have
lot
a
of
nasty,
people-
ugly, terrible MMA fight.
The average
But he
person
ain't
don't
into
know nothing
teaching
about
people.
boxing.
No, he brought the influence. That's what started the influencer boxing. The thing
Right.
that's called like literally like it's like influencer boxing, or it's called some other brand
Because
now.
it's easy to teach someone to put on the
It's
gloves.
much easier to show a guy to throw a right hand and a left hand punch than it is to show them how to grapple,
down.
kick,
Arm
to watch
bar and all that
Oh my
stuff.
gosh, to watch people throw a kick. People that have never thrown kicks before in their
Right.
life or weren't athletic enough, you don't ever want to watch them throw a kick. Look at grown men
And
play
also
kickball
anybody-
that aren't
and-
athletic. It's terrible.
And boxers open up to different sizes and weights.
Yes.
Where
Right.
MMA,
So
you're
many.
kind of like one size their
Strapped.
weight. Like
There's a
you
shit
know,
ton of weights in boxing.
Right, because you could be a heavier set with a little bit of belly and still box, but you ain't MMA.
Yeah.
You ain't doing it. And you could be skinny and weigh, 140 pounds and still be a boxer, but you ain't an
like
MMA.
Sebastian Fedora is 154
But I
pounds.
think
He's
he
6'5".
found. I think he found a sport that he could take into and be easy to be an influencer in.
Oh,
he could have
yes.
done NASCAR. He could have done. He could
Yeah,
have
but
done
he
anything.
wouldn't have been as
He found it.
successful.
Yeah.
He
But
found
he
it that
found
way
a
because
loophole.
he found a loophole, just like you said. But he also had, again, the money to buy into boxing. If you don't have a bunch of money to buy
Right.
into it, no one's going to
Have
see
to
you.
have money to back you up.
Because boxing is all about just making the money. Because it's still like the best way to describe how old school boxing is. Why is there this book in baseball that has unwritten rules about what you shouldn't do when you celebrate stuff that people still follow?
Yeah.
Why? This is entertainment still, right? It's the same thing in boxing. They follow these dumbass rules and the things that you're saying. You're expanding a thinking that the Riyadh season is trying to do, put together a boxing card from top to bottom that everybody wants to watch. Fights that we talk about all the time, they're putting together on cards top to bottom like the UFC does. But before, it's just exactly what he said. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We don't know who's under. It's just these two guys. And really, it's just this guy. It's Mayweather versus somebody.
But everybody goes to it, right?
Yes.
And it's packed, and it makes money.
Hold on.
But that's
Hold
how
on,
they stick
for
to it, because
those names.
for those names, nobody else
now,
is making shit.
You might.
But you can't put Tito's and Jenny McCarthy and do the same thing.
They
No.
won't. They don't want to.
Who's they?
The boxing world is what I'm telling
The
you.
promoters.
They don't want to put Jenny McCarthy and Tito.
Otherwise, they
don't
would. The name and the because then you got
Like you just said, you took two big names. And I took two big
But-
names too. They're just not fighting each other.
But
I
guess-
know Jenny McCarthy.
Why are you
fighting
going to pay
Tito's.
Jenny when it's already sold?
Here's the next
Right.
problem. Here's the next problem. You want to bring in Jenny McCarthy. Let's just put it this way. Let's go above and beyond. You want to bring in Jennifer Lopez. You want to bring someone even better. Let's bring in freaking Taylor Swift, right? Somebody huge.
She's busy at the Super
Well,
Bowl with us.
It doesn't
Either
matter. Take a big name.
Take a big
I'm
name
kidding,
and bring
I'm
him over
kidding.
to like Tank Davis is about to fight. Let's say that he's the biggest name in boxing right now besides Canelo, right? And Terrence Crawford. So we take Tank Davis or we take either one of those other two guys. They have their own promotion on top of your promotion.
have to deal
You're
with
not
their
going to have room to put Jenny McCarthy or whoever
Right.
the hell you want to put in there because you're going to pay Canelo Alvarez all that money along with his promotion and everything else because you're doing it together with
Because
him
he's
now.
putting his brand as well.
Yeah,
As he, so it's the
and
bonus.
otherwise you're not getting him. And that's what it is. So when you get those big names, Mayweather was promoting half that card. Everybody that was fighting on one half of that card when Mayweather fought were his fighters. They
right.
weren't making shit.
No,
all that
they're
money was
already
coming.
paid.
make
They're
money
already
because there
paid.
are
No,
because they
it trickled down, and they only make it after a certain number of
They're
fights.
already paid.
Yes.
right because he said I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get paid $80 million, and I'm gonna.
No, he pays them when he
No,
signs them.
he pays them when they sign them. They don't get paid that night
Per
after-
fight,
well,
no.
yeah,
no,
per
but
fight.
their stocks went up.
No.
Aren't they worth more now?
It will
No,
slightly
it's-
as slow as it slows.
If I
it
fought on
trickles.
Mayweather's card as fight number 7,
yeah,
I'm now worth more as a boxer.
A little bit, as long as you
yeah, a
won.
little bit.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
you
hold
want.
a little more clout.
But I'm saying it's not a huge difference
Yeah.
to notice.
So like when he signs, let's say Carmel Moten. Carmel Moten is a knockout artist right now. He's a young kid. He only has like 5 fights. He's getting bigger, but he's also not. He's getting promoted by his own name through Mayweather on random shows that are going to make him bigger, that are going to be seen. So when he sees those knockouts, so yeah, every little small fight for him is increasing incrementally faster than
But
most
he's not
people.
getting paid
But yeah,
like that. He's getting money. Don't
he's
get me
getting,
wrong.
He's getting taken
money,
care of
but
like it's a
not-
full-time job,
yeah.
like a salary.
Yeah.
That's what he's
The
getting.
guy's making $60,000 a year. Do what he loves.
Yes.
Not a
Yeah.
bad deal.
Okay.
Right
yeah,
now, but his stock's going up.
it is.
His
It
personal
is.
stock.
It
If he
is.
ever left that group, his stock would still. His Instagram. See, I think people don't build their own stock. They tag on to Mayweather. If I was one of Mayweather's fighters, let's say, I would want to build my stock secretly and get my YouTube.
But
up, my Facebook followers.
but that's the thing though. I feel like fighters do that.
Yep.
But you need somewhere to start.
You're also.
And that's why the name Mayweather or whatever, that's why you start. But my thing is the money that you're getting or whatever is not really money.
But it's not money up front. You go to
No.
college.
It's going to be money.
It's like
up-
a weekly paycheck.
Right. It's going to be a weekly pay. Say, okay, they play like this. Say, okay, then, if I would have signed with Mayweather, don't get me wrong. If I sign with Mayweather or whatever, say,
And you get a monthly paycheck. Let's just make up numbers. You get $100,000 a year.
100 grand. Okay,
Right. So every 2 weeks you're getting an $8,000 paycheck, whatever the number is.
Right.
Okay.
So so when it show up on the contract or whatever that I'm fighting for, just say, let's just say 500,000. I'm not getting that 500,000.
It's going to him.
Right.
Because he's giving you a paycheck.
Over my contract and over the month in that period of time, I'm going to get that amount.
And you're going to get bonuses. You're going to get things
Right.
from that. Like, hey, you know, and that's your deal.
Right.
You work out as a young
And
athlete.
hold on. And then every show, what show I'm on, and I'm getting exposure. So I might not be getting the money that I want, but I'm getting the exposure.
So what
and
is
my
it about?
name
The
out
exposure,
there.
the
It's
social
about
media,
the
and the money?
exposure. It's about the exposure.
It is.
Look, I look at everything. We go to college. Most people go to college. Not everybody. We go to college. You pay them. You have to show up. You have to follow their rules. You don't. I paid you, and if I don't show up, you can kick me out of class. You can fail me. Then I get a passing grade, only to go on to the next Math 1 and Math 2, and I got to do it again. I look at it, life is the same way. If he was to pay me $100,000 a year, and I could pay my bills and fight, I'm in college. I got to show up on time. I got to be a good fighter. I got to win.
That's a good
And then
analogy to
eventually, 4 years down the road, I'm going to be done with Harvard, and I'm going to be my own damn lawyer. I'm going to be done with Mayweather, but I'm going to use Mayweather for everything I can
Right.
to
And
build.
that's basically what we're saying.
Yeah, but in that meantime, you gotta hope you don't have any injuries. You gotta hope he doesn't drop you. You gotta
Right.
hope that he doesn't something happen. You don't piss him off.
I
You
got to
don't
make
say
sure I
something.
don't fail this test. I got to make sure I go
I
to
get
school.
what
I got
you're
to make sure I don't
saying.
get a girl
But-
pregnant. I agree with what you're saying.
but
But there's-
also,
that's
when
in
you-
life.
when you
if you
wa-
pay me $100,000 to be in the shadow of Mayweather, I'd take that all day, and
but
I'd be
you're-
happy to take it.
You're like the difference is you're gambling on yourself wholeheartedly, right? In college, you can make mistakes, redo your major, whatever you want to do,
But
and
you
still
can't redo that.
You can't redo the
that.
fight.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's not the same when it comes to that, and that's what I mean. Like you could sit there and fail.
Right.
I have a degree in physics and a minor in mathematics. You could fail those classes and decide you want to go to a different route and still be in
percentage
college.
that's been taken out and stuff like that. It's no percentage like that, like you just said, or whatever. It's no percentage or whatever. But that's what I'm saying.
But if I lose one fight
Right.
under Mayweather, he may drop me. Now my
Right.
$100,000 is out the window, and now I have to go find somebody else. Now I have to build up a ladder again. I have
that
to do all that.
$100,000 that you just got paid, that might just be your
It's a
whole
little
check
different,
for
but
the
yeah, I
whole
mean,
year.
it's the same
And-
thing. We can all make different career paths.
yeah.
But
So I would agree.
The promoting of a fight, you have to have a fighter that has a name. So you're going to pay that name, right? You bring Jenny McCarthy and, Tito's, and you put a bunch of no-name fighters that don't have other promotions, you might sell out the event, but people that watch boxing aren't going to be the people watching it, so you're not upping the stock of your
Right.
fighters at all.
You're just
but I
surviving.
can take somebody and make them
How?
the next
here
person.
No one that's worth it is going to watch.
But the ones that are there are going to start following that fighter. And if he promotes himself and he's meeting and greeting, not sitting
You're
in the
not
back.
promoting to boxing fans.
Yes, I am.
No, and no one's going to go to a fight where they know no one.
Okay, so
Unless you do
I-
it cheap,
I
but you have
disagree.
Jenny McCarthy, you can't afford to make the tickets cheap.
Yes, you can.
here's the best story I could tell you about how boxing works. There's a guy called Edgar Berlanga. He fought Canelo Alvarez recently. I went to the fight this past year, right? It was Canelo was finally one of his bigger fights. He was there. Everybody wanted him to defend his undisputed title. Edgar Berlanga started out on a 16-0 fight win streak in professionals.
First round.
First round knockouts. 16-0. First round knockouts.
The most.
All 16.
All 16 first round
First
knockouts.
round knocked everybody
He was
out.
on
was
on
the
Top
first.
Rank. He was on all these big shows getting like the Saturday night, Top Rank event that's on ESPN for free. He's getting that. He's even getting on some pay-per-view shows and things like that Lomachenko was on and things like that. Under other fighters. He's getting paid by his managers and everything like that. Now after a 16th fight, he starts fighting bigger competition, much better competition. And it's not the same. He's not the same guy. He got rocked and got dropped one time. He's winning fights by decision. There's he's going all 8 rounds and he doesn't look like he has, or 10 rounds and he doesn't look like he has the gas tank for all of that. He's kind of fading in the later rounds and he's not looking unbelievable. So the biggest thing was he's also Puerto Rican, but he's not from the island. So he's not really an island boy. And that means a lot of times in boxing, the Puerto Rican island won't get behind you wholeheartedly because you're not from the island. You're not an island boy, as they call it. So he's Brooklyn, Puerto Rican. So he has New York behind him, but not as the whole thing. So what they ended up trying to spit and what they did was their managers go, all right, Edgar Berlanga is never going to be the world champion that we thought he was going to be. We need to get our money out of him quick. How do we do it? Let's get him. Let's
face of the.
who's the face of boxing?
Right.
Canelo. What's the way we can pitch this to everybody? Canelo's Mexican. It's Mexican Independence Day. Oh, Puerto Rican versus Mexico is a big rivalry in boxing. Edgar belongs Puerto Rican. We can pitch this.
Right.
We're going to sell it this way. No one got behind that. New York got behind it, but no one got behind that. But they did make enough money to cash out on Edgar Berlanga. Now, the next fight he gets is not nearly ever going to be as close as he is. He's probably not going to get the undisputed championship title against Canelo while he has it ever again. He's going to have to work his way back up. And all of his managers, all the money they paid him, all of that stuff they did, they just got it all back out of him.
Right.
And they essentially fed him to Canelo. Yeah, it raised his stock a little bit because he had a really good fight. I'm not going to lie that.
Yeah.
But they fed him to a lion. And that's what happens to you when you there. Devin Haney is like, if it wasn't for his dad, he would have been fed to a lion a long time ago, right? His dad is the one doing that. That's just what happens in boxing. They use you as a sponge until they can, especially if they think you're the next biggest thing ever,
Right.
and you end up not being.
That's anywhere. I mean, that's.
But they're using you and you're taking brain damage. That's
Right.
the
Yeah.
difference.
That's the
where we all have to understand that. Like
And I
there's
will
like in
agree.
football, like you're getting hit, man, a lot all the time. And that's the difference. Like these guys literally every time somebody goes in the ring, you have to realize they're putting their life on the line. I think football players
But after
aren't.
16-0, could he not make a better contract?
You
After
could you,
16, I mean, before that fight, I've been like,
You don't know how-
let's do a contract.
you don't know how many times they were just, hey, we're gonna re-sign this contract. The manager's like, yeah, you re-sign this contract, we're gonna give you
Right.
more money. Oh, cool, man. He's probably like, all right, great. Then when,
Percentage should go up.
yeah, the percentages go up, but you might be making some more money. That's wonderful. And then, yeah, they want
What
to
you
bring
got to
it.
dish out and what you have to pay for taxes and everything.
all that on top of it.
applies.
Imagine building up your business, right? So your marketing business. Imagine building that up and you lose, you're doing well, you look good, and then you lose a big sale. Start back over. Start back, your business is gone, start over again.
I think we've all done that in life. We've done that in relationships.
No,
I've done that
what?
I have done that in businesses. I've been on top of the fucking world, and 3 days later, I have nothing. And you got to keep going.
Has it happened to you multiple times a year?
Do you have a
multiple times a year, multiple times in your life? I think that's part of
but
life.
what
The
he's-
only
but
thing
what
I'm
he's
saying is,
saying-
did you get a concussion from it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we're saying. Like, have you got hurt, like severely or life-threatening?
No, but I think the brain is a hurt, you know?
No,
and then
it
you
is,
have to
but-
get back
Come
up.
on.
You got your ego and your emotion along with a CTE.
Let me
getting-
give you a
But we all
handkerchief,
agreed
Sally.
that we all agreed that a brain was almost worse than body.
But if you're getting hit, punched in
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
Not
the physical
physically,
CTE is no joke.
Yeah.
CTE
that plays
is
with
no
the
joke.
physical and mental.
there's a
Yep.
reason why boxers, like the big ones,
Right.
fight twice a year and only twice a year.
Right.
Like, because in the problem, there's still also the saying of a boxing where it's still one of those things where they want spar wars. Like Mayweather had a whole YouTube channel called Spar Wars, where these dudes are unlimited time limit and they're trying to knock each other out. It's like that, and they're all professional boxers and they're doing
Right.
it. And some are amateurs getting there with professionals trying to do it. And it's like that's not how we should
Trying
take
to
care of it.
look
No,
good.
but that's a TV. That's a program. That's money.
Well, no, that's
No,
them.
no, no,
that's
no.
them trying to get
Dangerous.
looked at to get signed.
Yeah,
that's
that's
them
they
not
don't get
getting all
any
that.
money.
Yeah.
No, but the program was making
Oh
money.
yeah,
Oh,
promoter makes
Mayweather
money.
was. Mayweather was.
Right.
Mayweather was. But I
Yeah.
mean, that was just people in a gym, in Mayweather's gym. He's standing in the middle, getting two guys in the ring that are yelling at
And
each
4
other.
cameras, the guy made $1 billion every
He
hour.
did. He did.
Right.
But like those guys in the ring were there just trying to get seen by Mayweather, so maybe they'd get a fight,
and somebody knocks me out, goes, I might get seen. That was it.
Yeah.
This
Right.
poor guy's laying on the ground, knocked out.
thinking
Right.
he was going to be the one to get
He's
seen.
gonna be on. This guy's like, I might, and then he doesn't even get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even that good. You knocked him out by luck, or something like that.
There's all
Right.
that kind of stuff. That's what I mean. Like there's all
So
that
all
stuff
that
going
plays
on.
in effect. Yeah.
And then CTE, if you look at it, man, CTE affects you. It starts to break you down, slowly. It starts with memory, like your memory goes off a little bit, but then depression kicks in.
Right.
And then it gets to a point, like, look at Junior Seau, ended up killing himself. And, everyone said that he just changed and the brain damage that you got. And you're constantly getting punched in the head. That's
Right.
going to do damage, especially with, at least football players have a helmet.
Yeah.
I truly believe that Mike Tyson, if he didn't do the ayahuasca and all the other stuff he did, he would be a very angry, upset person still to this day. Way more.
Yeah.
If he didn't do the stuff he did to do that stuff, I really do believe he'd still be an angry little, like, upset person. But now he's so much, you get to see who Mike Tyson really is as a person, because his mind is beautiful. He knows more about boxing than 97% of the world ever will. Like, he's a historian of boxing. It's amazing how much he
But
knows.
when you take it back, you'll be like, oh, he just dumb and punch
No,
drunk or whatever.
but no, he can remember all that. And I think if he never did that stuff,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been the same person.
I wonder if that's why Aaron Rodgers does that. I wonder if that's a CTE thing that, shit, maybe this.
I mean, he's a smart guy. It might
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's something that it holds off the effects of CTE later in life.
They've said it like they've had studies about like if you listen to Joe Rogan or anything like that, they have studies that they've done that helped people that have like psychosis, things like that, be a little bit better from going through that.
I always think about it as well. Like, what if I end up getting, or you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's hey, that's what you sign up for and what you risk to be rewarded.
And that's one thing, like football wise, we never thought about that, at least back then, because it wasn't a thing. Like, but boxing, that is no protection. I mean, you got the glove, but I mean, your head's getting constantly
The gloves were
hit.
for your fist. They're not even for your
Right.
head.
Yeah.
They were for your fist.
Like,
So
even-
you could throw more punches.
Right. Even when you
No shit,
block,
I didn't
So you
know
didn't
that.
break your hands.
I thought it was protection.
Nope. It's for your
even
hand.
when you block
Wow.
a punch and it's going towards your head, you still feel
Blunt force trauma.
right. You feel it still. If a person punch hard and you block it, you can still feel it.
Still feel it. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's different pains when it comes. You have the numbing pain where you're like, oh man, I got all
Or
the
the
stars.
shocking.
Or you have, and then you have pain, like where your face is literally the outside of your face is hurting because you got hit so hard. And then sometimes you have the shock pain where you're like, oh, I got a little headache now. That
Or
sucks.
delayed.
Or delayed, yeah. I mean, there's all different ways to get there.
Yeah.
So that's the.
That's why I always ask people like, don't get in boxing if you're not built for it. And everybody's not built for it.
Yeah.
Everybody's not built for it.
The dedication it takes, like the training that I've watched you go through, and the
Lonely.
time, and it consumed. Back then it consumed your whole life.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It was insane. You were up early, you were running, and then you'd come to work. And then, you're back at the gym after that because, the boxers, they don't make much when they're first starting out.
Right.
So,
And I think that's the most disrespect and most degrading when you're a fighter coming up. Yeah. Like, it's really nothing and you put in so much work. And I feel like you put in so much work more than when you're on top, or when you're trying to get to the top.
yeah.
And that's why I feel like when you do get to the top and they say like the hunger dies and it's only a few that keeps that hunger
Yeah.
and that was able to stay on top or go out on top.
Well, you work so hard for that one thing and you
Right.
get it. And,
And
it's
it's
like,
like,
holy
yeah.
shit. I've put so many hours into this. So, all right. Yeah, I'm here. Cool. I've made it.
Right. And it's like, okay, like it's not, and it's to a sense, it's like, oh, okay, now I don't accomplish that. So now it's like, what? Now what I do? Like, okay. Like it's just like you just contemplate at that moment and then you just like, I still got more to accomplish. So it's like I said, man, it's a lot. And boxing is just the loneliest sport. Like it breaks you. It breaks you.
I'll shit you not, Jeremy, because I have Kenmon, we've known each other for the better part of 10 years. And he's worked for me in the past. And, I know he would train and I would work around your schedule and, hey, all right, cool. You train here, you can work here. That way he could get his training in his hours.
Yep.
And we've become great friends over the years.
Yep.
And, I'll never forget. And just to go to show your dedication, I get a call from this man one day and he couldn't make it into work. And I'm like, all right, he could have been sparring yesterday, maybe sprained an ankle, who knows? But yeah, no worries. I'm like, all right. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. I got shot, but I'll be all right. I still got to get to the gym. And I'm like, hey, wait, what?
What'd you say?
And I was like, so, did you go to the hospital? Why are you? How are you calling me? I'm so confused.
Yeah.
And no shit, I think you were in the gym the next
I
day.
was in the gym the next day. I called Joe around I got out of the hospital around 5:30. Made it to the house by 6:45. Called him because I had to be to work at 8.
10 or 8.
It was 8.
Yeah, 8.
It was at 8, so I called him and I was like, I can't come in. I got shot. So he was like, what? And I was like, yeah. So I just left the hospital and everything. I have the doctor's note or whatever. He was like, no, you don't need that or whatever. I believe you. And he's like, is you okay? I'm like, yeah, just dozing off and everything or whatever. So I ended up falling asleep or whatever. Made it to the gym. Didn't even tell my dad or none of them at the gym. Only time when they saw when I think I was in the 8th round and it started bleeding through my shirt. Then they was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got shot." And they was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Yeah."
One more round and we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, so it started bleeding through my shirt and everything. That's when everybody at the gym found out.
But, so Key, I appreciate you coming on, man. And I am so excited. Everyone, February 21st, Detroit, Michigan, the Motor City Casino.
Yes, sir.
Kenmon Evans going for the NBA Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Is it going to be on? Is it going to stream?
I still have to find out more information about it or whatever. I will post it on my own Facebook and on IG. So just be looking out for that. The information, I would definitely post it as soon as I get the word back.
What's your Instagram handle?
King386.
Nice. So yeah, check him out on Instagram, Facebook. And then if you're in the Detroit area, or even if you want to fly up to Detroit, get your tickets. There is a casino, so nice hotel room there. I think that's what I'm going to be doing.
We will be having the Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Disney plans
We'll
are
be having
coming.
the Disney.
I don't drink anymore, so I'll stay awake at Disney this time. But
All right, for the Come On Karen, though, we're doing Super Bowl picks.
all right, you want to do Super
and
Bowl
I,
picks
Super Bowl
for the Come
picks.
On Karen?
That's the Come On Karen this week. Because Super Bowl's in a couple days. We're going to do Come On. Give me your score.
What?
Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl.
Score?
Score.
28-21 Birds.
So 28-21 Birds.
29-26 Birds.
I'm going to go Chiefs 32, Eagles 21.
I'm going to go 30-27 Eagles.
What was yours?
26-29 Eagles.
All right.
Fucking go Birds!
Super Bowl in a couple days.
Let's go.
Saquon for the MVP.
Right.
So Saquon should get MVP.
Yeah.
Now, look, Josh Allen, great year. Lamar Jackson, great year. All great players.
Nothing like him. I'm
So
sorry.
Saquon was the most valuable player to his team because guess what? Those other two guys aren't playing. He is. So he was the most valuable player
It's not
in
even
the league.
that. He just proved it, and it's like for him to get like back-to-back 60 yards run and 200, all of that or whatever, and for him to go down for like I just told my brother, he has been since 2006 or no, I say 7. Besides Adrian Peterson, when he did what he did or whatever with the 200
Which
back,
was a great
almost or
year.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
He's been the third for me since AP did what he has done, and we've had a lot of good running backs, but nothing compared to the year that this man had just put up. And did.
My 3 favorite running backs of all time. One really shouldn't be on there. I was just a big fan.
Who?
Ricky Williams. Loved
okay.
Ricky Williams.
That's good.
Huge fan of him. When he was getting drafted, I had a custom-made Eagles jersey made with the 34 and Williams, and then we get fucking Donovan McNabb, and I wasted $400.
He's like top 34.
I just a big fan of him. It was with
all
me,
times, probably.
Saquon, Ricky, and AP. They were my 3.
AP, LaDainian Thompson. And,
He was a beast.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta go up my boy Sean Alexander.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So, go with
Seahawk.
Yeah,
Mine's
gotta
definitely
go with him.
Barry Sanders. I went with AP.
I
would
forgot
be,
about Barry.
AP would have
do
been one
that.
of them because I watched him. Like I get why you guys.
I
Yeah,
can't-
he was amazing.
I didn't watch. I
and
didn't
then
watch Barry. They don't.
and then the other one I would say that was there was the number one. I would have to say the Danian Tomlinson is the other one because he was just an all around. He was like the true 3 down back. The starter.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Barry Sanders, AP, and LaDainian Tomlinson were the. I mean Marshall Faulk was good
yeah,
too to watch. Like I
but
remember growing up
not
watching
better
him.
Than, not better
No,
than Sean.
He was the first
Alexander.
one in the passing game.
Marshall
that
Faulk?
was.
Yeah,
I'd take Marshall Faulk or Sean Alexander.
Sean Alexander got more yards than him.
But guys, we are getting to that time. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure to catch out Key's fight. And
Salute.
Like us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and
X.
X.
we got a little bit of
There it
everything. There you
is. The 1X this time.
1X, not 3 X's. XXX.
Well, we
And
appreciate
come
it,
see us
y'all.
at Disney, right?
February 21st, Detroit, Michigan. We will be at Disney.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, y'all.
You should.
Hold on. Since it's still kind of filming, I have one question. Key, when am I going to meet Sydney Sweeney?
That's something I have to talk to Christy about, but I think we can swing it. She's supposed to be having a show, I think in Florida, so
All right,
in March
perfect.
or something like that or whatever. So we'll see.
Nice.
Hey, it's possible.
You let me know.